All right, Mrs. Anderson, thank you so much for being with us today, and welcome Val, your assistant. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do for our veterans here
What do I do?
with these beautiful quilts that you make?
Oh, well, my niece was making them in Texas, so she came here and she made one. She said, "Why don't you take?" I had this trunk full of material. I tried to give it to somebody for quilts. Nobody didn't want it. She said, "Why don't you take it and make blankets for the veteran?" I said, "I don't know how." So she made one and showed me how to do it. So I just kept making them and tried to give them to the nursing home. They didn't seem to want them, so I decided to bring them out here.
Well, thank you so much. And as you can see, we have bags full of these beautiful blankets. Val, do you want to help me take a few out so we can look at them? And do you have veterans in your family?
I had two, but they passed away. George Higgins and Freddie Brown.
Well, we will happily remember them. Look how beautiful these are.
Also double-sided.
And with a little note on the end here, I think I just saw Love Mary.
Mary.
Can you see that? That is so wonderful. And our veterans love these things because we have an old building and sometimes it's too cold in a lot of our areas, and so these are just perfect for them.
I'm glad to know that.
Yes. So thank you so much for your generosity and the beautiful work that you do. And Val, I understand that you're a helper.
Yes, ma'am.
So you help sew all of these beautiful blankets too.
Some of them.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
oh, that's great. Well, thank you so very much. And on behalf of all our veterans who will certainly enjoy having these, we thank you kindly. And we're so glad that you're able to be here in person. And if you want, we can go down and actually go to one of the units and give some of them out. Would you like to do that?
No.
No. Okay. That's fine. We'll give them out on your behalf.
I know one out here, but I don't know where he's at. So
Well, you tell us his name later, and we'll make sure he gets one from you.
All right, we are here at the VA Medical Center. We've got Mr. Billy Rozier with us. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Doing very well. Now, tell us what branch of service you were in.
I was in the Army.
You were in the Army. Very
Sergeant Rozier.
good. Sergeant Rozier, thank you so
Yeah.
much for your years of service.
We're glad to be there.
And it's good to see you. You've got a great sense of humor.
Thank you.
Have you always been this way?
I've always been this way.
Very good.
Very good.
So now Miss Mary Anderson brought you a blanket out here.
Yeah.
And so you've already got it covering your legs. Tell us how you feel about that.
Oh, I say that's lovely.
That's lovely.
That's so lovely.
That is so lovely. And so when people take the time, Mr. Billy, to kind of do something to bless the veterans, and for you serving in the Army, how do you think that makes all veterans feel?
I think it make them feel very good, but it don't make them feel as good as it do me. Yeah.
Well, we thank you so much. Thank you so much for serving, and God bless you.
And thank you all for coming by.
Thank you. This is Mr. Billy Rozier.
And take a zip of Mr. Billy Rozier.
Thank you, Mr. Rozier. We are here with retired Air Force veteran Mr. Arnold Lee. How you doing?
I'm doing good right now. How you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. Hadn't seen you since the wheelchair game.
No, I've been trying to lay low
Oh, I got you.
a little bit.
How did everything go at the wheelchair games for you?
Well, it went okay. It could have been better, but I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
And I enjoy meeting the peoples. I met some of the old ones from Utah and got to meet some new ones, and it was all good.
Well, that's good. We're glad you had the opportunity to go. Of course, Miss Mary Anderson came and gave out 30 blankets to the veterans here. And of course, Mr. Arnold Lee was one of the recipients. And you've already got your blanket around your legs as well.
Yes, it matches my outfit.
It does. You coordinated very well.
Yeah.
And you know, Mr. Lee, I mean, we talk about people doing a service for the veterans because of all the service you all have done and how you've given back so much to our nation. What does it feel for you to have someone to do this for you?
Well, it feels kind of special because I said, especially being a Vietnam veteran, we sort of like forgotten for a while, but now, you know, every time somebody do something for me, I think I can speak for some of the other veterans too, it feels good to know, it makes us feel like we did something.
Right.
Nothing special, but what we did It helps keep the country free.
That's right.
So that's very important to a veteran, regardless of what war he's in.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. And I think this is, Miss Mary, this is such a great thing to do to make the veterans feel, for one, to know that they're special, to know that they're loved, and to know that they're thought of. When you hear Mr. Lee speak of that magnitude, how does it make you feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Tears.
Yeah. Tears of joy, too. Tears of joy. So we thank you for that very much. And Mr. Lee, thank you so much for all the years that you have served. Thank you for giving back, and thank you for allowing us to speak with you today.
Well, thank you. My privilege.
This is Mr. Arnold Lee, ladies and gentlemen. This has been such a great day, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Miss Mary Alice Morrow with us, the director here of the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Pat. How are you?
Doing very well. It's always such a wonderful occasion to come out here and to want to see how well you're doing with the veterans, and also when people are giving back.
Absolutely.
Tell us about today.
Well, today is a special day. This beautiful woman, Mary Anderson, makes gorgeous lap blankets that you just saw a few minutes ago, and she wanted to donate them to our veterans. So as you can see, they've been very well received, and it's just something that adds a smile to a day. And certainly going to be enjoyed by our veterans. And so anything that our community members give to our veterans, we're very grateful for. The other great thing is it's a family event here.
Yeah, it is.
So Miss Mary has a lot of people here that are related to her that work
really
here.
does.
So it's one big happy family that are part of this Dublin community.
That's right. And when we talk to the veterans and they express how, how some felt like they had been left out, and how when someone does something to bless them, how it just really makes them feel special.
It does.
And you all aim to do that every single day.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's this is why we're here.
Yeah. And so when Miss Mary Anderson contacted you all to say, hey, I've got these blankets. I mean, what did you all have to do to kind of make sure that this happened?
We said, yes, ma'am, we'll be happy to have them.
And that is so great. And you have such a great atmosphere here. And so when a person or a group wants to give back and do something for the veterans, tell us what the protocol is for what they need to do.
They usually contact our voluntary service office, and Mr. Keith Griffin here is our acting chief.
Yes.
And he lets them know how to go about it and how to donate, whether it's time, talent, or treasure.
Yes.
And we had some beautiful treasure donated to us today. And so we help distribute, and if the person that's making the donation wants to be part of that distribution, we accommodate that. If they don't, we respect that.
Thank you. And thank you so much for how accommodating you are when people want to do something, a labor of love, and how welcoming you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Mary-
Thanks for being here to cover it.
Thank you.
And
Mary Alice Morrow.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anderson. You brought a big smile to all of us today.
Very good.
Especially these two.
Exactly. Especially those two.
We got savings to cheer about here at Dublin Nissan.
Dublin Nissan has Sentras discounted to as low as $15,985.
Call, click, or come see us. Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
Join Piggly Wiggly in the celebration of our 100th anniversary, and the celebration is spreading throughout our community with a renewed pride in our hometown grocer, Piggly Wiggly. 100 years of great product and great customer service. Piggly Wiggly is where you'll find everything from the freshest in produce to 100% certified Angus beef, the only certified Angus beef dealer in Lawrence County. Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street. Thanks for joining us in our 100th anniversary celebration.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Carl Vinson Medical Center. We've got Miss Mary Anderson with us, 90 years old.
9.
Did you say 9?
9 years old. Take the zero away.
Take off the 0. Take away the 0. And this is my aunt, ladies and gentlemen. This is my dad's sister. So good to see you and so proud of you. How are you feeling today?
Fine, you.
Doing very well. And of course, to my left, we got Bishop Otha Lee Stanley, my big brother as well. How are you?
Enjoying a beautiful day.
And guys, this is such an exciting time for you, Miss Mary, to do something like this and to give back to the veterans. And so we want to talk about how you started out. If you would talk to everyone about how you started off sewing and things that you would do.
I started off when I was about 13 years old, maybe 15. And I used to make my own clothes. I used to make men's shirts. I used to make my own bras.
Everything.
My breast was so big I couldn't buy none.
And she's speaking truth. I remember when I was younger when you told me that. I'm like, wow. And so you did so many things. Now, our grandmother, your mom, taught you how to sew.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She used to make all her children clothes. So I guess that's where I got mine from.
So why is it that none of that gift, bled over to me? What's up with that?
Well, you wasn't here then.
I'm here now. Too late now, right? Too late. And as we were talking off camera, Otha, you were talking about how Aunt Mary is your personal seamstress. Tell us about your relationship and the work that she does for you.
Well, she is, like I said, 90 years young.
Nine.
Yeah, nine. She do a lot of my alterations for my clothes, suits, and stuff. And she does it as a service. She don't even want me to pay her, but I still blesses her. And me being a local pastor and community advocate, I believe firmly in giving people their flowers while they're living. I do too many funerals where people waste a lot of money in flowers, have a lot of beautiful sentiments to say to people while they're laying prostrate in a coffin. But I believe in why like the veterans are living now, while Aunt T is still living. I just believe we just need to give them flowers while they can smell them.
That's right. And giving those flowers, she's still giving herself. And so, you're still giving. And tell us about the reason why you wanted to do this to give to the veterans. We talked a little bit with this Mary Alice, but you're talking about your niece first gave you this idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's in Texas, and she came here, and I had a trunk full of material where I used to sew.
Right.
So she asked me what I gonna do with it. I said, I'm gonna give it to somebody if they want it. She said, well, take it and she showed me how to make the blankets. She said, make blankets and take them to the vet, and they'll be glad to get them. So that's what I started doing.
And you made 30 blankets. You had your assistant with you, Val.
Yeah, Val. She helps me.
And so now, do you find it like kind of therapy? Do you relax when you're sewing? Is it relaxing?
Yeah, I do. My machine broke, so I took it to the shop, and they told me it cost me $80 to fix it. So I came home, and the lady said, I got to get me another machine. She said, I'll be over there tomorrow and bring you $100 to get your machine.
Wow.
So she bought me another machine.
And here you go again.
So yeah, I'm going again.
And this is such a great thing to do. And there's so many wonderful veterans here. There's so many great community members and organizations that do so much for veterans. And so we're thankful of that. And so just to highlight with Miss Mary Anderson being 9, to be able to do this, to still have the desire to do this, and to be able to be skilled enough to do it and to give back like that. And so what message would you say this is presenting to others when they see her still doing things like this?
Well, one thing come to mind is one simple four-letter word, hope. We're living in a time now where people looking for hope. I mean, so much going on, people afraid of this, afraid of that. But at her ripe age, we can still glean a lot from her. So that gives us hope. And I told someone this one time before. We said that a lot of knowledge is in the library. I agree with that. Yeah. But also a lot of knowledge is in the graveyard.
That's right.
So we need to try to glean from them while they're still living. So I just thank God for that.
Well done, well said. And you said there's another four-letter word that you think of by you doing this.
Love.
Love. Yeah.
And I'm glad that I'm able to do it, and I enjoy doing it.
That's good. And I remember years ago, you used to cook for the nursing home. I never knew how you could cut up collard greens so tiny. And so I remember, growing up, these were things that you remember growing up, how I remember she used to cut her collard greens so tiny. And I remember I would go over to her house and eat when I would come home from college, and she'd be done put something together. I don't even know what would be the name of it.
I don't either.
Did you say you don't either?
I don't either.
And she said, go in the kitchen and fix yourself something.
Dad.
You are learning some new words today. You're learning some new words. And so, this is really special. This is special. And for all of you that are watching this, and to know that at her age, she's still giving back. So it should give you some hope to that you can still do some things as well. And when you operate out of love, this is what is produced. Any last words, Miss Mary?
No, I just want to say that I enjoy doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it until I can't do it.
Very good. Thank you. Pastor?
I just want to say for the record, A. Mary did not want to do this. Actually, I just wanted to surprise her to put in the newspaper and put on TV, because she always does it. She always does good deeds, and to God be the glory, and I just thank God for her. I love her, and anything I can do to help her while she's still yet among the living, not the dead, we're going to do it by His grace. And I also want to thank God for her other nieces and nephews that help. Wanda's husband, he does a lot to help her too, and his mom, they do a lot to help her too. But let's give them flowers now while they're living. I just believe in that.
Very good. Well, these are your flowers today, Miss Mary Anderson. Thank you so much for all that you have done, the things you have done today, and the things you are yet to do.
And I love all of you.
We love you too, Auntie. Don't get me the crying woman.
I've been crying all the while.
Keep smiling.
What I've been running ever since I've been here.
That's all right. Let it keep running.
I just do it like that.
And keep going. All right, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you all too.
This is Miss Mary Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. Bishop Otha Lee Stanley. We're here at the Carl Vincent VA Medical Center.